What if you could learn data science, AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, digital marketing, and even project management completely free? No fees, no catch. And yes, you get a certificate too. Welcome to Omni Academy, Pakistan's leading IT training institute since 2010, part of MHSG Consulting Group, helping thousands build real-world skills and land jobs. Every month, Omni Academy offers 50+ free workshops taught by industry experts covering everything from AI and cloud to cybersecurity, networking, and more. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just starting out, there's something for you. Join online from anywhere in Pakistan, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, or beyond. So don't wait. Register now at omniacademy.com and secure your spot today. Omni Academy, your career transformation starts here, and it starts free.
Hello everyone, and welcome. We're so happy to have you here for our free IGCSE online UAEGulf curriculum study skills session. Whether you're studying in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, or anywhere else following the British curriculum, this workshop is designed especially for you. If you've ever thought, I study for hours but still forget everything. I don't know where to start revising. My exams are getting closer and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Or everyone else seems more prepared than me. Then don't worry. You're definitely not alone. Thousands of IGCSE students experience these same challenges every year. The good news, success in IGCSE isn't about being the smartest student in the class. It's about using the right study methods, managing your time wisely, avoiding common mistakes, and building habits that actually help you learn. And that's exactly what we'll cover today. By the end of this session, you'll walk away with practical techniques you can start using immediately to improve your study routine and prepare for your exams with much more confidence. So grab a notebook, keep your phone distractions away for the next few minutes, and let's begin. Understanding the IGCSE journey. Before we talk about study techniques, let's first understand something important. Many students believe IGCSE is too difficult. But the truth is, IGCSE isn't impossible. It's simply different. Unlike earlier grades where memorizing information might have been enough, IGCSE focuses much more on understanding concepts, solving problems, and applying knowledge in different situations. For example, in science, you're not only expected to remember definitions, you'll need to explain processes, analyze experiments, and answer unfamiliar questions. In mathematics, it's not enough to know a formula. You need to understand when and how to apply it. In English, examiners want to see critical thinking, interpretation, and clear communication. This is why students who only memorize often struggle during exams. Instead, successful students focus on understanding first and memorizing second. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts every IGCSE student needs to make. Section 2. The biggest mistakes students make. Now let's look at some of the most common mistakes students make. If you recognize yourself in any of these, don't worry. Today's session will help you fix them. Mistake number 1. Studying only before exams. Many students wait until exams are only a week or two away before opening their books seriously. This creates unnecessary stress. The syllabus feels huge. Revision becomes rushed. Confidence drops. Instead, studying consistently, even for 1 or 2 focused hours every day, is much more effective than trying to learn everything in one weekend. Small daily progress always beats last-minute cramming. Mistake number 2. Reading without learning. Another common mistake is simply reading textbooks over and over again. Reading feels productive, but often your brain isn't actively processing the information. Real learning happens when you test yourself, explain concepts aloud, solve questions, teach someone else, create summaries. These activities force your brain to retrieve information, making it much easier to remember later. Mistake number 3. Ignoring weak subjects. Most students naturally spend more time studying subjects they already enjoy. Maybe you're great at biology, or mathematics, or English. But avoiding difficult subjects only makes them harder. Instead, spend extra time improving your weakest subjects little by little every week. Even 20 to 30 minutes of focused practice can make a huge difference over several months. Mistake number 4. Comparing yourself to others. One friend finishes revising an entire chapter in one day. Another solves difficult past papers effortlessly. Social media is full of students showing perfect study desks and color-coded notes. Remember, you're not competing with their journey. You're building your own. Consistency matters far more than comparison. Focus on becoming better than you were yesterday, not better than someone else today. Building a smart study routine. Now let's talk about creating a study routine that actually works. The best timetable isn't the most complicated one. It's the one you can realistically follow. Start by listing all your subjects. Then identify strong subjects, average subjects, weak subjects. Your weakest subjects should appear more frequently throughout the week. Don't spend 6 hours studying one subject. Instead, divide your study sessions into manageable blocks. For example, 45 to 60 minutes of focused study. Take a short break, then switch to another subject. Changing subjects helps your brain stay fresh and prevents boredom. Also remember to include time for homework, revision, past papers, and rest. A timetable without breaks usually doesn't last very long. Balance is key. The goal isn't to study every minute. The goal is to study effectively. Study smarter, not longer. One of the biggest myths about IGCSE is that you need to study for 8 to 10 hours every day to get good grades. The reality is quite different. What matters most is how you study, not just how long you study. Think about it this way. If you spend 4 hours reading the same chapter without fully understanding it, you've gained very little. But if you spend 1 focused hour solving questions, reviewing mistakes, and testing yourself, you've made real progress. Quality always beats quantity. So whenever you sit down to study, remove distractions. Put your phone on silent, or keep it in another room. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Have all your books and notes ready before you begin. Treat each study session like a mission, with one clear goal. For example, today I'm going to master quadratic equations. Or, today I'll complete 1 biology chapter and solve 20 past paper questions. Having a clear objective helps your brain stay focused and motivated. Section 5. The power of active recall. Let's talk about one of the most powerful study techniques used by top-performing students around the world. Active recall. Instead of repeatedly reading your notes, close the book and ask yourself questions. Can you explain the topic without looking? Can you write down the process from memory? Can you solve a similar question on your own? Every time your brain retrieves information, it strengthens that memory. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice recalling information, the easier it becomes during exams. Here's a simple method. Read a topic, close the book, write down everything you remember. Then compare it with your notes. Whatever you missed becomes your revision list. This simple habit can dramatically improve your retention. Section 6. Spaced repetition. Stop forgetting what you learn. Have you ever studied something really well and then forgotten most of it a week later? That's completely normal. Our brains naturally forget information if we don't revisit it. That's why successful students use spaced repetition. Instead of revising a chapter only once, review it multiple times over several weeks. For example, revise it today, review it again after 2 days, then after 1 week, then after 2 weeks, then before your exam. Each review takes less time than the previous one because your memory becomes stronger. This method is far more effective than cramming everything at the last minute. Section 7. How to make notes that actually help. Many students spend hours making beautiful notes with colorful pens and decorations. While neat notes are great, remember this: notes are meant to help you learn, not win a design competition. Keep your notes simple. Use headings, bullet points, flowcharts, mind maps, tables, diagrams. Highlight only the most important information. When your notes are short and organized, revision becomes much faster. Your future self will thank you during exam season. Why past papers are your best friend. If there's one resource every IGCSE student should use regularly, it's past papers. In fact, if you ask students who consistently achieve A stars and A grades what helped them the most, many of them will mention one thing again and again: practicing past papers. Why? Because past papers show you exactly how examiners think.
Textbooks teach you the content, but past papers teach you how that content is tested. There's a big difference between knowing a topic and knowing how to answer an exam question on that topic. Past papers help you understand the style of questions, the level of difficulty, time management, common examiner expectations, frequently repeated concepts, how marks are awarded, which topics appear most often. Many students only start solving past papers a few days before their exams. Unfortunately, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Past papers shouldn't be saved for the final week. They should become a regular part of your study routine throughout the year. Even if you've only completed a few chapters, you can still solve topic-based questions from previous papers. For example, if you've just finished learning about chemical bonding in chemistry, find past paper questions related only to chemical bonding. If you've completed trigonometry in mathematics, practice every trigonometry question you can find. This builds confidence while reinforcing what you've just learned. Another important tip is to simulate the real exam environment. Sit somewhere quiet, set a timer, keep your phone away. Avoid checking your notes while solving the paper. The goal isn't just to get the right answers, it's to prepare your mind for the actual exam experience. Don't worry if you get questions wrong. In fact, making mistakes during practice is one of the best ways to improve. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Maybe you misunderstood a concept, maybe you rushed, maybe you forgot a formula, or maybe you simply didn't read the question carefully enough. These are all lessons you'd much rather learn at home than in the real examination hall. After every paper, spend time reviewing your errors. Don't just mark them as wrong and move on. Ask yourself, why did I lose marks? Did I misunderstand the question? Did I forget a formula? Did I rush? Could I have explained my answer more clearly? Did I make a careless calculation mistake? Once you've identified the reason, go back to your textbook or notes, review that concept, and then solve similar questions again. This process of practicing, reviewing, correcting, and practicing again is exactly how improvement happens. Remember, every practice paper brings you one step closer to success. Managing exam stress. Let's be honest for a moment. No matter how well you prepare, it's completely normal to feel nervous before an exam. In fact, almost every student experiences some level of exam stress. Even students who consistently achieve A and A-star grades admit that they still get butterflies before walking into the examination hall. The difference isn't that they never feel anxious. The difference is that they've learned how to manage those feelings instead of letting those feelings control them. Remember this, stress isn't always your enemy. A small amount of stress can actually help you stay alert, focused, and motivated. The problem begins when stress becomes overwhelming. That's why it's important to build healthy habits long before your exam day. One of the biggest causes of stress is leaving everything until the last minute. Imagine trying to revise an entire year's syllabus in just 3 or 4 days. It's almost impossible. Instead, when you've been revising consistently over weeks and months, your final revision becomes much easier. You'll walk into the exam knowing you've already done the hard work. Another common mistake students make is sacrificing sleep. Some students stay awake until 2 or 3 in the morning, trying to revise just one more chapter. But here's the truth, a tired brain doesn't perform well. Your brain needs sleep to organize and store everything you've learned. If you don't sleep properly, even topics you've revised well may become difficult to remember during the exam. So instead of studying all night, aim for a good night's sleep. You'll think more clearly, solve problems faster, and make fewer careless mistakes. Eating properly is equally important. Skipping meals or surviving on snacks and energy drinks isn't going to improve your concentration. Your brain needs proper fuel. Drink enough water throughout the day, stay hydrated, eat balanced meals. Simple habits like these can have a surprisingly positive impact on your focus and memory. Exercise is another powerful stress reliever. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. Even a 15 or 20-minute walk, some stretching or light exercise can help refresh your mind and reduce anxiety. When you've been studying for long periods, taking short breaks also helps prevent burnout. Your brain isn't designed to stay fully focused for 6 or 7 hours without a break. Study for a focused period, then step away for a few minutes. Come back feeling refreshed. Another habit you should avoid is comparing yourself to other students. We'll always find someone who says they've already revised the whole syllabus 3 times. Someone else claims they've solved every past paper. Someone posts perfect study notes on social media. Don't let those things discourage you. You don't know their complete story. The only person you should compare yourself with is the version of yourself from last week or last month. If you're improving, you're moving in the right direction. Confidence doesn't come from wishing for good grades. Confidence comes from preparation. Every chapter you finish, every concept you understand, every practice paper you complete, every mistake you correct, all of these build confidence naturally. So when exam day arrives, remind yourself that you've prepared for this moment. Trust your revision, trust your hard work, and most importantly, trust yourself.
Final tips before your exams. As your exams get closer, your priorities should begin to change. This isn't the time to panic. It's the time to revise smartly. One mistake many students make is trying to learn completely new topics just 1 or 2 days before the exam. Instead of helping, this usually creates confusion and unnecessary stress. Focus on strengthening the topics you've already studied. Review your summaries. Go through important formulas. Revise key definitions. Practice diagrams. Solve questions that you've previously answered incorrectly. These activities are much more valuable during your final revision. Continue solving timed past papers whenever possible. Remember, knowing the content is only one part of the exam. Managing your time effectively is equally important. Practicing under timed conditions helps you become comfortable working within the actual exam limits. It also teaches you how long you should spend on each question. If your exam board provides examiner reports, make sure you read them. These reports highlight the most common mistakes students make every year. Learning from thousands of other students' mistakes means you're less likely to repeat them yourself. The day before your exam should be calm and organized. Pack everything you'll need. Check your calculator. Prepare your pens, pencils, ruler, and any other permitted equipment. Know your exam venue and reporting time. Avoid unnecessary stress on the morning of the exam. When you receive your question paper, don't rush. Take a deep breath. Read every instruction carefully. Underline keywords if you're allowed to. Pay close attention to command words such as explain, describe, calculate, compare, and evaluate. These words tell you exactly what the examiner expects. If you come across a difficult question, don't panic. Move on to the next one. Answer the questions you know first. You can always return to the difficult question later with a fresh mind. Many students remember the answer after working on other parts of the paper. Before submitting your paper, use any remaining time to review your answers. Check calculations, check units, check spellings where necessary. Look for unanswered questions. Correct any careless mistakes. Sometimes these final few minutes can earn you valuable extra marks. Finally, remember this: success isn't built in one night. It's built through hundreds of small study sessions, consistent effort, determination, and the willingness to keep going even when things become difficult. Every chapter you complete, every question you solve, every mistake you correct, every hour you spend learning brings you one step closer to achieving your goals. There will be days when studying feels easy. There will also be days when motivation is low. That's completely normal. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Keep showing up. Keep improving. Keep believing in yourself. Trust the process. Your future self will thank you for the effort you're putting in today. What successful IGCSE students do differently? Before we wrap up today's workshop, let's talk about something that many students wonder. What do top-performing IGCSE students actually do differently? Is it because they're naturally smarter? Do they have better teachers? Do they study 10 hours every single day? The answer in most cases is no. Top students aren't perfect. They simply build better habits. One habit they all have in common is consistency. They don't wait until they're in the mood to study. They study because it's part of their daily routine. Some days they feel motivated. Some days they don't, but they still sit down and complete their study goals. That's the difference. Another habit is asking questions. Many students are afraid of looking silly, so they stay quiet in class even when they don't understand something. Successful students know that asking questions isn't a weakness. It's one of the fastest ways to learn. If you don't understand a topic today, ask your teacher, ask your classmates, watch another explanation, read another resource. Never let confusion build up. The longer you ignore a difficult topic, the harder it becomes later. Successful students also review their work regularly. They don't finish a chapter and forget about it forever. Every week they spend time revisiting old topics. That's why they remember information during exams, while others struggle. Another thing they do is learn from feedback. If they lose marks, they don't become discouraged. Instead, they ask themselves, what can I improve next time? That's the mindset that leads to continuous improvement. Remember, your goal isn't to be perfect. Your goal is to become a little better every single week. Small improvements, repeated consistently, create outstanding results.
Section 12. Making the most of the time you have.
One of the biggest excuses students give is, I don't have enough time.
But let's think about that for a moment. Every student gets the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how those hours are used.
You don't always need huge blocks of free time to make progress. Even 20 or 30 focused minutes can be incredibly productive. Instead of waiting for the perfect study day, make use of the time you already have. Revise flashcards while traveling. Review formulas before dinner. Read through your notes while waiting for tuition to begin. Complete 10 practice questions before watching your favorite show. These small study sessions may not seem like much, but over weeks and months, they add up to dozens of extra hours of revision. Also remember that quality matters more than quantity. Studying with complete focus for 1 hour is often more valuable than sitting at your desk for 3 hours while scrolling through your phone every few minutes. So whenever you study, remove distractions. Keep your phone away. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Tell your family that you're studying for the next hour. Protect your study time. Your future self will thank you for it.
Section 13. Believe in your ability to improve.
Before we end today's session, I want to leave you with one final message. Never underestimate what you're capable of achieving. Maybe your last exam didn't go as planned. Maybe your mock results weren't what you expected. Maybe you've been struggling with one particular subject for months. That doesn't mean you can't improve. Your current grades are not your final destination. They're simply a snapshot of where you are today. With the right study techniques, consistent effort, and the willingness to keep learning, your results can change dramatically. Some of the highest achieving students started exactly where you are now. They struggled. They made mistakes. They failed practice tests. They felt overwhelmed. But they kept going. And that's what made the difference. Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident student was once uncertain. Every top scorer once got questions wrong. Don't let one bad test define your future. Don't let one difficult chapter convince you that you're not capable. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep improving. Your effort today is an investment in your future. Months from now, when you're holding your IGCSE results in your hands, you'll be grateful that you didn't give up when things became difficult. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens through hundreds of small decisions to keep going. So believe in yourself. Stay patient. Stay disciplined. Keep showing up. And remember, every single study session brings you one step closer to the future you're working so hard to achieve. Thank you so much for joining today's free IGCSE online UAEGulf curriculum study skills session. We hope today's strategies help you study more effectively, stay organized, and approach your IGCSE exams with greater confidence. Before you leave, we have 3 exclusive opportunities available only for our workshop participants. 1. Get 20% off our premium courses. As a thank you for attending today's workshop, you're eligible for an exclusive 20% discount on our premium IGCSE courses. This special offer is valid for the next 7 days only, so don't miss the chance to learn from experienced instructors, access structured study materials, and receive guidance designed to help you achieve your academic goals. 2. Visit Omni Jobs and Internships portal. Planning ahead for your future starts today. Explore the Omni Jobs and Internships portal to discover internships, student opportunities, scholarships, and career resources that can help you build valuable experience alongside your education. 3. Join our WhatsApp channel. Stay connected by subscribing to our WhatsApp channel. You'll receive updates about the latest workshops, free learning sessions, study resources, internships, scholarships, and career opportunities, all delivered directly to your phone so you never miss an important update. Once again, thank you for being part of today's session. We truly appreciate your time, and we hope to see you again in our upcoming free workshops. Until next time, keep learning, stay consistent, and remember, every great achievement starts with one small step taken every single day. Good luck with your IGCSE journey, and we'll see you soon.